Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of pictures that I took during the lesson. I just went around, the students were very nice and letting me take some pictures. And we're just going to talk about kind of the picture and see what was going on during the lesson at that time.
Okay.
So here's the first picture. They're not wonderful pictures. But this is a picture with you working, is this Sarah?
Yes.
So working with a student here. Can you tell me what was going on in this picture?
Okay, this was during the quiz trade game, and so her card had a mixed number, and she couldn't remember all of the steps in doing the problem. So I just asked her, what's the first step? And then what do you do once this is a fraction greater than 1? How do we change it to a mixed number? And so I just had to walk her through the steps, and she knew it, but it's like she just needed to talk it out.
Sure.
So,
good.
yeah.
And there were a couple of students that needed that reinforcement.
Yeah.
So when you think about playing this game the next time with the quiz trade, what are some ways that you could differentiate that instruction for some of those students that need that reinforcement or need some help? Is there some ways that you could structure that game a little differently?
Maybe if it was a partner quiz trade, and then they could, they could try and do it themselves, but then they have that assistance if they need it as well.
Perfect.
I think that would.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
Partner them up and have them work together, and that kind of takes that pressure off of that one student since they're right there kind of working those problems in front of their peers. And you wouldn't even have to have everyone have partners. You could even say, a few people are going to have partners that they could go around with or let them pick if they wanted a partner or not. Or maybe it was be a predetermined decision by you as the teacher.
Okay.
Another way you might do that is you could actually have 2 separate games going on at once just with the quiz trade. And you as a teacher know that these questions are a little bit harder and these questions are a little bit easier and have them in 2 different groups, quiz trading, and that may help with that also if you wanted them to do that task independently.
Okay.
So just something to think about. Good. Okay, so now we're going to move to the basketball game, the fraction basketball, which they loved a lot, and I like that you had orange wiffle balls, so it really did look like mini basketballs as you were shooting those. So you had the students divide into 2 groups and go up to the board and work those problems. So at one time during the game, how many students were doing a math problem?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you, tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, the remainder, if you weren't the next person, they're just there. And so their minds weren't going. But I didn't know what else to do. So,
good.
I mean, they weren't extremely loud or anything. So, I mean, I thought it was okay, but it could definitely be better so that they could be.
Right. Also. So do you have any ideas on how to get them involved in the game? Okay. So just maybe one idea is to have them take their whiteboards up there with them, and everybody's solving the problem on their own on their whiteboard and checking against the person that's on the board.
Okay.
That might be one way to have them do more of those math problems. Another way might be to, like you said, like we did the last time, to have 2 people work together, because it is. I know as a math student, for me, if I had to solve a problem on the board and everyone was looking, it's a little bit of stress for me. So maybe having 2 or 3 people solve the problem together on the board and the rest of them using their whiteboards, that may be a way to have them, do a few more math problems and stay focused a little bit with that. Good. Thinking about the classroom management of the games and just the lesson in general, how do you think that went?
I think pretty well, because most of the time they were up moving. When I had them at the carpet for the first couple minutes, it was okay, and then they started going off, which that happens a lot, but I mean, it's better than what it had been.
Sure.
But I think I wanted to see what they had trouble with, but only that person and maybe a couple other people who had trouble with that problem were engaged, because I wanted to know everyone else was kind of checked out. So I tried to call on people who looked like they were kind of out of it.
Right.
But I still didn't know how to, I guess, engage everyone.
Good. And I'm so glad that you're able to notice that, because you knew you were trying to include them in the problem-solving process. So another way to do that is have everyone solve the problem on their clipboard.
That's why I had them bring it down.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you get up to teach the lesson, you have those good strategies and you just forget because you're in the middle of doing everything. Good, so just have them all solve that problem on their board,
Mhm.
and then maybe they take the time to solve it and share with their shoulder partner. And then if then they're still not able to solve the problem, then maybe you model it and then have them write down the steps as you model. So just keep them busy, make sure you're not working harder than they are.
Yeah.
You gotta get those math brains going. So just to make sure you're keeping everyone involved.
Okay.
Good.